started the recording. So this thing, I think is just going to come up first time here. It's not going to come up each time. Okay, it's telling me to just go this. You may or may not have this, but I'm just going to go this license agreement. And then it's telling you to put in the username. So at this moment, we have already a root user, but we're not creating any additional users here. It says a non-administrative user. So we're going to just forward here. We're not going to do anything. And then they say yes. And then don't worry about date and time as much. And then it's giving you this message here, but I don't think you have to worry about this. Just do this and click finish. And then it's going to reboot. Okay, great. So what we have achieved so far is we have installed a clean copy of CentOS. And what I would normally do is I just close that out, and then what I have here is now I know there is like a super clean copy here. So what I normally do is I just right click on it and click clone, and then what I do is I rename it. What it's doing is it's cloning the virtual box, not virtual box, the VM, virtual machine. That way you could have one clean copy and then another copy that you will be working on. Okay. So if you all have this open, you could follow along and then let me know if you are stuck somewhere. Can I proceed?
Yeah, we have just started the following years.
Okay.
So it's starting with mine is just starting at CentOS 6. So I don't know what it is.
Yeah, mine to CentOS release 6.9.
Okay, I'll start again. When you are ready, let me know. Then I'll start.
So it's at welcome screen, so we should click forward, right? Or enter.
Yeah,
hit enter.
click forward. We're not doing anything at this moment.
Are we getting any users, Zafar?
No users at this moment.
It's giving a message, you did not set up an user account capable of logging into the system.
Okay, yeah, continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zafar, I got the count on CentOS release 6.9 final, and it says others, which is highlighted. So
it says others.
Yeah.
Can you take a picture and put it in the chat?
Okay.
Survey, I'm getting message insufficient memory to auto enable K dump.
Okay, yeah, I got that too. So yeah, just ignore that and then. Okay, and I'm looking at your picture. It's all good. So just to close it out. Just X out of it on the top left. Just close this. I'm sorry, top right.
And shut down. Power
Yeah,
off.
select the option to power off.
Power off.
So at the screen, CentOS release 6.9 final.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. We are in a GUI mode, so just X out of it on the top,
Okay.
and then it will ask you to.
Power off.
Give you three options. So use power off.
Okay. And then now we need to clone.
Yeah. So somebody sent a picture. So yeah, just select forward there. Use the arrow keys to select forward, and then hit enter, and then continue on.
Brother Zafar, when you said power off, then we are again back to square one, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because I'm going to show you how to clone it. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
So the name is going to be Red Hat original clone.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you is we're going to keep this as one copy. That's a clean copy because it takes some time to install something, right? Install the operating system. So what we're going to do is we keep this as original copy, and then we're going to clone it, and then we're going to continue on. And then it will we will work on that copy. Okay, this one will be as a original copy. If that the one we would be working on get corrupted, then we could clone it again, and then we have a fresh copy there. Do you get the idea what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you now.
Okay. So I go forward, and it is now asking date and time and all these things. So still I go forward?
Yeah, keep going forward. Don't change anything. Just continue on.
Okay.
And
It's
you might
saying
get an error message, K dump or something. So just ignore that.
So it says insufficient memory to auto enable.
Yeah, it's okay. What options you have? Okay or cancel? What options you have?
Okay.
Okay, great. Just click OK.
Okay, and then finish.
Yes.
However, on your clone screen, I was looking at your screen, and you had little more options, full clone or something like that, whereas I have only, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
you have
You
clone
you are in
type.
guided mode, so click on
Okay,
expert
okay,
mode.
okay, 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 okay. Got it.
So
Okay.
we'll wait for everybody to catch up, then I'll move forward. Are you caught up now? Okay, I'm gonna move forward. If somebody has an issue, stop me right now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna clone it, and then you have a guided mode here. I think it will throw you in here in the clone virtual machine, but go into expert mode, and then we want a full clone, and all this gonna be same thing, but make sure MAC address policy. Select it on drop down and select the one on the bottom, the third one. It says generate new MAC address for all network adapters. Okay, make sure you do that, or else it will cause some problem later on. Okay, and then simply just clone it. And then this should all be done in like few minutes. It's telling me on my computer like 2 minutes. Alright, somebody sent a picture here. No. Oh, no, it's telling me 5 minutes. No, it's down to 3, so. Everybody is doing the same thing, right? Just like me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So mine is cloned already.
Mine is done too.
Yeah, you have a better computer than me, so let me see what I got here. Maybe I'm streaming, that's why it's taking up time. I'm using i5 and all that. Okay, so now you see all this is is done in few minutes here, right? Compared to the original one. If I'm not mistaken, it took more than 15 minutes or so. It took even longer for me. So what it does is it makes a replica of what you have there, and then it just creates another one here. So normally what I do is I keep this one as original, and when you will be playing around with this, it will get corrupted. Your system will get corrupted. So that's your learning curve, that you're corrupting a system and then trying to fix it. If you can't, then clone it.
Was there a quick question on removing machine, because we were creating some machines for testing. Once we click and remove, it will clear up all the resources like disk, memory, etc. Right?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say that again.
My question is like right now we have two machines, right? Two VMs. So for practice, if we create a few more, and when we remove those machines by right clicking and option remove, it will
Yeah.
remove the machine from this interface. So it will clear up all the disk and other resources
Yeah,
consumed
yeah,
by.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could either remove only or you could delete all files. Normally, I delete all files because I don't have too much space. It gets 16 GB each size. It gets used up a lot.
Okay.
So that I have all those disk space that I remove is reclaimed.
Okay. No reboot, etc. is needed for that. Right?
Yeah. Okay, so what will happen next is okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look. Seems like everybody's caught up, so I'm going to go ahead and start. So you just start this VM box here, CentOS, and it comes up.
So we have to start the one which we have clone already?
Yeah, go ahead and start it.
Okay.
Hello? Did somebody say something? I cannot hear you. It's a lot of muffled there. Hello? I cannot hear you. Okay, so what happened now is when we power it off or power it on, the system is booting into the GUI mode. So what is this GUI mode? So in Linux, especially numbers Red Hat 6, what it is they are called levels of. There are 5 or 7 levels of. There are 7 levels of mode. Okay, so right now what you're looking at in here, the mode you're looking at in here is called graphical mode. It's called GUI mode. So this is GUI. So even though Linux is known for non-GUI mode, there is a little bit of some GUI mode in it. What is GUI? Is graphical user interface. Okay, so this is not where you will be working in here. 99%, 100% of the time, you won't be using the graphical user interface. You will be using the multi-user mode, which is called it's called non-graphical. So how are we going to go into a non-graphical mode? Let's go ahead and close this out again, and then select power off the machine. Okay, go ahead and do that again. And when everybody is ready, let me know. Do not start it again yet. Everybody is with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I mentioned there are seven levels of mode the operating system could go into. The very first one we saw is the graphical. That's a default one. Once you install for the very first time, it's a default one. Okay, so watch this clearly. We have only few seconds to interrupt the graphical user mode. Okay, click on start, and then you will have a countdown here. When you have a countdown, push especially like a space bar or something so that you interrupt the countdown. Okay, I push the space bar. So go ahead and do this, and when you're at this screen, let me know. Okay, so I assume no everybody is at this screen, correct? So what you're gonna do is, it says down here, use the up and down arrow key to select. By the way, let me bring up the keyboard here. Okay, so if you're gonna be a Linux admin, forget about the mouse. You're gonna be using a keyboard a lot. Okay, you're gonna be using almost every key combination here: up and down, arrow, backspace, escape. Some of the keys you have never used is like uh, tilde, backtick, or pipe. These are all you always have all those keys on your keyboard, but you are not used to using it, but you will be using it a lot here. Okay, over here it says use up and down arrow key or whatever, and then it's saying press enter to boot the selected OS, or E to edit the command before booting. So what we're going to do is push E. So everybody should come up to this page here. This is called a kernel page, or grub. We'll go into all this in more detail here, but at this moment we just need to know how to bring up system here, okay? Okay, so then use your down arrow key right here, this one, and then hit enter. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Use the up and down arrow key and use E. It says over here E. So we're using, instead of enter and all that, you know how this is different here, E for edit. Normally in Windows you hit enter to select that option here. Then what we're doing is we are changing the level here. So give a space and give number 3 here. Okay, do it exactly I said. And then at this moment I think you need to hit enter. Enter key on your keyboard. Enter. Okay, now what we have did is we changed the run level. We changed the run level to the option which is number 3. What is the number 3 run level? Number 3 run level is
multi-user non-graphical mode.
Exactly. Multi-user mode with NFS. I'll explain you what NFS is later. But this is number 3 though. So number 3, it goes up here before here. And then the GUI mode is number 5. Okay. I'm putting this together as how these things are moving in. Okay, now it's telling us to boot. So to boot, even if you hit enter, it's not going to take you to push letter B on your keyboard. Okay. So all these numbers are called run levels. It's called run levels. This is going to be really important, and this is going to be very first question you will be asked in the interview. What are the run levels? And they'll ask you about run level 5 and run level 3. Okay, now it says in here that local host and login. Okay, so we never created a login, but it's asking you to put the login in there. Okay, so our login is by default the username is root. Okay, you could never ever change the name of the username. Okay, it's called root. Always remember that. So who are you? You are going to be root. And a root, who is root? Root is just nothing but a name of a administrator. So he is a super user. He have access to everything. The root user, whoever the root admin or user is, administrator, and that person has access to everything, the full rights. He could do anything with the system. So what you do is hit enter here, and then the password. Remember at one point it asked you to enter the password, but it didn't tell you what the username was. Let me see if wow. So remember you created a simple password. I told you to create a simple password in this environment because it's not too important. So the password I kept for my system was Red Hat. Okay, notice I did type something in there, but you don't see anything typing in here, even the asterisk, anything. So that's a security feature. Even though you are typing in, it's not gonna see, you're not gonna see anything being typed on the screen. Okay. Now hit enter. Okay, so you're logged in. It says here like root at localhost, and when you see squiggly and then the pound, that means you're logged in as a root user. Okay. Okay, so far we have seen the run level number 5, which is called a GUI mode, graphical user interface. This is our default installation. When you do it from the CD, it's a default installation here. Okay. All right. So what about number 1? We are at number 3 and 5. It doesn't make sense, right? 3 and 5. Where is number 1? Where is number 2? Okay, and then where is number 4? We have 5. Where is number 4? Okay, and I said 7, right? Where is number 6? And where is number 7? So there is no number 7, but we have 6 here. So it starts from 0. Okay. So what's happening is we have 7 run levels, starts from 0 to 6. Okay. So we have total of 7 run levels here. So we already know what run level 5 is and what run level 3 is. This is where you're going to be working in a lot. Okay, so let's take a look at run level 0. How are we going to get to run level 0? Well, you can't. Run level 0 is what? Run level 0 is shutdown. If the system is in run level 0, that means it's in shutdown mode. So this system, it's not up, right? It's not running, it's powered off. And somebody in the interview will ask you, what is my system is in run level 0, so what is it doing? That means your system is shut down. So that's what run level 0 is, shut down. Okay. So if you're already logged into the system here, how are you gonna do this? Go to the shutdown mode. So the command for that is init, INIT space 0. Okay, when you type INIT space 0 and hit enter, the system will go down. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we are in run level 3 right now, right? So, all right, there is another command here. You type run level, and it's telling you it's in run level 3. The command to check the run level is 3. The command to run level, what run level you are in is 3, run level. Okay. Here's the command. Command to check run level. Simply run level. That's it. You type run level and give you what run level you are in. So I type run level, it told me the run level is 3. Okay, so I want to go into run level 0. So all I have to type is I have to type the command. Yeah, if I type this command, the system is going to go into run level 0, which is shut down. I'm going to shut down the computer or the system. So I type init 0. Okay, and if you guys are here, go ahead and type init 0 and hit enter. So when you're typing this in, this is the very good way to shut down the computer. So, I mean, if you press and hold the physical power button on your system, that's not a good way. So you go on here and then you go into a power button and then you select shutdown. That's the proper way to do it, okay? So let's go back in here and it says the system is in, we power it off. So the system is in run level 0, which is here. The run level 0 is power off. What about run level 2? Run level 1. So run level 1 is called single user mode.
Do I enter init 0 and I hit enter?
Yes.
Okay.
init space 0. Okay. All this thing you got to be careful. Most of the thing in Linux, don't worry about any grammatical mistakes, anything like that. In Linux, everything or most of the everything is in lowercase, and it doesn't care about any grammatical mistakes or anything like that. So if you type run level, you type it the way the command is defined, and then type init 0, and then we shut down the computer. Okay, so let's go ahead and start it up again, and then when you see the countdown, go ahead and press any key so that you interrupt the boot process. So we're going to go deep into the boot process a little bit later. But when you have that countdown, push any key on your keyboard so that you can come up to this option here. Okay. All right. So somebody said they want to hear it again. What you want to hear it again? So when you're turning on the system, let me do it again. Okay, you're turning. You press and you select the system and you start, right? Push the start button, and then the window comes up and you have only few seconds here. Watch closely. So you have like countdown 3 seconds. So push any key on the keyboard so that it interrupts. It interrupts the boot process and gives you the option to change the run level here. If you've been running Windows, I mean there may be some key here, F8 or something. We used to work a long time ago, late 90s, I mean early 2000. We used to tell customers to push F8 or something to bring up the option on Windows. But I'm not sure what's on these days on Windows. Windows has been pretty stable these days. So. But anyway, if you're here, what you would do is you would select E again to edit it, and then the second one is the kernel. You select this one and hit E again. and you give a space bar, and then last time we gave number 3, right? But this time we're going to give number 1. So we're going to go into the single user mode. And then you hit enter. Okay, it'll throw you back a page, and then all you have to do is push letter B on the keyboard to boot it. It has instructions there, so I'm not typing those instructions.
We're doing 1 this time.
Somebody said something, I cannot hear you. What did you say?
We are using run level 1 this time.
Run level 1 this time, yes. You could be a little louder this time. Okay. So we are into run level 1 now, and notice it didn't even ask us to put in the password. No, I'm not saying press 8. I was just explaining you what when you press F8, there was Windows. I'm trying to make some relation here. No, press any key. I usually press a space bar. That way, it will interrupt the boot process. So it will give you, instead of a countdown, it won't count down anymore. Then you would have some time. Okay, let me show this again. Okay, hold on. Okay, I go back in here, and then I do start, right? And when the window comes up, here you have only like 2 or 3 seconds here. So make sure you push some kind of key on your keyboard. I usually push space bar on my keyboard because it's a big one and I could get to it faster. And when you are at this screen, push the letter E here. Over here it says E to edit the command before booting, A to modify the kernel arguments, and C for a command line. So we're not worried about that. So we're going to use E. And then select the middle option using the keys on the keyboard, up and down, up or down arrow keys. And then push E again. And then this time, we already know what shutdown is, right? If you push shutdown, the system, if you push 0, the system is going to go down now. But what we need is, we need run level, we need to go into single user mode. So what is single user mode? We'll talk more about it. But for now, type only 1 and hit enter. And when you back to this screen, just push letter B. Over here it says press B to boot the system. So when you push B, it's gonna do its thing and then come back to the operating system, and it will throw you back into the single user mode because you asked the system to boot into single user mode because you gave the command 1, or you gave the option 1. Okay, there you go. So have you noticed something here? It didn't even ask us to put in the username and password. So why is it saying that? Okay. Why is it saying that? Because, let me clear this up here. Okay, so 0 is shut down, and number 1 is single user mode, and single user mode is used for so you are in single user mode, and this mode is for troubleshooting. Okay, if the system is having any problem, it will give you. You could go into the single user mode and use it for troubleshooting, okay, or patching, or whatever maybe the reason is. Mostly, it will just keep it as troubleshooting. Okay, and what kind of troubleshooting? Booting problems. You come into this single user mode and then you troubleshoot the booting problems, password issue. And then very important, you should make a notice that when you boot into single user mode, you will automatically be logged in as root. Without password. Okay, now is the good time to learn the command here. You type the command who, it will tell you, who-r. Okay, so, and then run level. Okay, don't worry about these two commands I just gave you, but just worry about the run level. So we type run level and it's telling us it's in run level 1. So run level 1 / s space s means it's in single user mode. 1 means single user mode. It's telling you 1 and then the space s means single user mode. Okay, so what is this mode used for? Is this mode used for booting problems, password issue, and other okay. So far we learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have learned about five run levels. Okay, so very first one is shutdown. Somebody's asking question. At a root local host. Yeah, for now don't type anything, just type run level there. Type run level like the way I typed here. Type run level and it will tell you which run level you are in. Okay, so you'll be using this a lot because you'll be working nothing but in black window, and then you need to know what run level you are in. You type run level and I will tell you which run level you are in. And you said, oh, okay, you are in run level 1, and then you'll be doing a lot of troubleshooting and all that. Okay, 0 is shutdown. Okay, so we talked about single user mode, and this mode and then when you are in this mode, you don't have any access to networking. No networking is here. That means you cannot ping outside world, or you cannot communicate outside world. So if you try to type like ping google.com or something, it won't work here because there is no, it's not going to go outside or communicate with, even within the local network, there is no access to it, okay? So usually you go in here to troubleshoot it. So I've said that too many times. So let's go ahead and move on to the second, the run level number 2. Okay, what is run level number 2? Okay, so let's go ahead and move it here. So this one, run level 2, is called multi-user mode. Okay, so what is multi-user mode? A multi-user mode is you don't use this as much, but what you could do is you would have some networking connection, but it will not have any network file system. Okay. Okay, what is multi-user mode? What is multi-user mode? Multi-user mode is that there is a connection and users. There could be one or more users can connect to the system remotely. Okay, let me add one more thing here. So no networking cannot communicate, and no one can connect from network. So these are the things for single user mode, and for multi-user mode, we could go into multi-user mode, but there is no NFS here. So we'll talk about NFS a little later in the course here. It's going to be really hard for me to explain at this moment, but NFS won't be available, okay? And then the network file system is not available, and the user is a multi-user mode, but user could connect and they could use it at the moment, okay? So these are the main features for this multi-user. Number 2 is multi-user mode without NFS, okay? In the interview, somebody will ask you what is the multi-user mode without NFS, and then you just have to say it's a run level 2, okay? These are really important. I'll put this as a different document. That way you could understand all this better here, and these are going to be your interview questions. So I'll keep another document in here that you will have what you've been learning and what are going to be your interview questions. You will learn those and memorize those, okay? All right, so moving on, we have already worked on number 3. Number 3. Okay, this is most of the time, this is where it's going to be working. So admins will be working, regular users will be able to perform their tasks. Okay, NFS will be available, and then example would be database, database teams, junior admins, and sudo users, etc. Whoever have access to this machine. So in other sense, multi-user mode, which is number 3 with NFS, anybody who have access to the system, they may be able to perform this, may be able to work in this environment. So multi-user mode is normally the default one. When we install for the first time, it's a default installation. It goes into user mode here. But most of the environment, most of the big corporations, they leave the system into multi-user mode. Okay, default in most of the workplace. By the way, you will be dealing with not one server, two server. Okay, you will be dealing with, even a smallest company would have like 4,000, 5,000, 6. That's the minimum servers you would be dealing with. A big corporation, which one we have a medium corporation, which is not even an international corporation, they would have at least starting with 10,000 servers. Okay, there is very, very high demand for Linux admins, and I won't be surprised once you finish this class, you will be picked up by Apple, Google, Amazon, anybody. These people, they just cannot find anybody who could run the commands. So I really encourage everybody to stay put and then finish this course. Okay. So what is number 4 run level? It's nothing. Nobody knows what it is. It's not defined. That's how I put it. Knows what it is. I never worked in number 4. I mean, there may be some flavors they may try to fool around with number 4. So it's just remember, number 4 is like, if somebody is saying I'm working in run level number 4, I mean, you just tell him, he doesn't know what he's talking about. There is nothing as such as run level 4, then you'll be working in there. Okay, so we'll just skip ahead from that. And number 5 is a graphical mode. You could do almost everything and anything what you're doing in this mode here. You could do it in graphical mode, but it's a little bit in graphics, like clicking on, right clicking, and all those. I think those things are available in here, but a good admin would never go into graphical mode. You'll be working a lot of things from here, from the command line. By the way, this line is called the blinking cursor, and this one is called command line. Okay, what is it, command line? This is a CLI, command line. That's what it's called, command line interface. So let me take a picture and put it in there so that you remember it next time. Okay, so you know what that is. This is a command line. Okay, let's see here. Anybody has any questions so far? Are you with me so far?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes, I'm following.
Okay, so somebody's asking question here. Let's see. Okay, so as things are progressing, I'm putting this document together. Go ahead and review it. And by the way, you must be practicing, every day, 2 hours. Okay? Don't give yourself like 2 hours. You just have to set aside 2 hours here. What I would recommend is um, 30 minutes, then another 30 minutes. You could keep like 2 30 minutes, 1 30 minute, and 2 45 minutes. Okay? And somehow you practice it or learn about this. I'll put it up on the top here. So this is it will run for 6 months, and then practice every day, 2 hours. Okay, so do this. If you have 2 hours together in one day, like you could put down 2 hours simultaneous, 2 hours back to back. That's fine. But for you to be able to observe things here, so this is what I follow here. You study 30 minutes, and then find 45 minutes sometime, 5 minutes, and somehow try to use 2 hours every day. Okay. All right. Good. So we have here seven run levels here. So let's see here. And so we talked about all this here. So we talked about graphical. So you could technically have all this in here in the graphical mode also. Okay. Yeah, admins don't work here, but the user will be able to perform their task. Database, NFS will be available. So you get the idea. Okay, so what is number 6? Number 6 is our good old reboot. Okay, number 6 is all it does is reboot. Reboot, start. So, okay, so when you are on the job, never reboot the system. So Linux is so stable here. I've seen the systems were never rebooted in about 1,000 days, 1,500 days, 500 days. So the software and the hardware run so efficiently that you don't ever need to reboot the system here. But if you need to reboot the system, when required, you must approval, you must get approval from the application team. Okay, what I mean is, if the system, if this is a production box, production means like Amazon website. By the way, Amazon, Apple, all those guys are running on Linux here. So if you get a ticket here and you're working on it and you think you need to reboot it, don't just reboot on your own here, because the only person who could be able to do or restart the system will be you. You have power to reboot the system here, but don't reboot it, because if you reboot the system and the website goes down, it could be millions of dollars in the loss revenue. So people will come back to ask you, who did this? So never ever do that. Okay? So you would have like an email chain or a ticketing system that you will put in a request here, say, okay, I need to reboot the system, and then they will internally work within their team, and then they'll tell you, okay, it's good to reboot the system. Or what will happen is there is a change request. So it's called CR. CR is needed for reboot. Okay, it's called change request. You open the change request and it goes through the approval for 3 or 4 levels above you. It goes through your manager, he approves it. It goes through other teams, they approve it. It goes to the IT director, because everybody will be watching what is going on here. So first day when you go and restart the system, you're not going to come back the second day. Believe me. Don't do that. Same thing with the shutdown here. I mean, shutdown is obviously you're shutting it down. Reboot, it may come back and then everything will start working. But never ever reboot that system here, okay? So how do I do that? The command to reboot is, okay, so by the way, let's see here, the command, I'm going to type in the commands here. So the command is init6. The command is, okay, over here, command is init0. When you type init0, the system will go down. Whichever mode you are in, when you type init0, the system is shut down. It's not going to come back up. And then wherever you are in, if you type init1, it comes back in init1. Okay, and then 2, it comes back up in init2. What init stands for is initialize. Okay, all right, let's see here. The command is init3. Okay, great. It's nobody uses this. The command is init4.
So can you hear me?
Yes.
Question is that if we reboot system with level 6, init 6, right? So what level system will be coming up?
It will come up, very, very good question. Very good question. It will come up whatever the default is set. Most of the time, it is set in this default level here. So right now, we are in run level. We are in run level 1, right? The reason we are in one level run is we interrupted the original run level, which is the graphical user mode. Okay, we interrupted that, and we, instead of going it into the run level 5, we interrupted at one point and we told it to go into this run level 1. But if I type init6 here, there is a file it's reading at the moment, at the time of the restart. Whatever that number is set on that file, most of the time it's set to 3. So it comes back into 3. Unless you are standing in front of there and interrupting it, okay? So,
Okay, thank you.
very good question. I'm really happy you asked that question. So, after reboot, the system will go into default run level. Okay. That means that you are getting what I'm saying so far. So very good. I'm really happy for you.
Azam. Hi, Zafar.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I got a question here about rebooting. If you rebooting system or restart it, if there's specific reasons for that, or they give you reasons, I mean, all the time, same reason, or it depends. Why?
Depends. It depends. There could be several issues, right? A hard drive failed, or there is a memory issue, the system is not performing well, all the sudden that there is no network connection. A lot of things here. I mean, every day is going to be a new day for you. You work on one problem, you will get a very, very complicated problem. So the thing is, reboot is the very, very last thing you would do for a system. Worst case scenario, you have to reboot the system and see it will clear up the problem. Okay, but there is that option there. But you have to be very careful when you ask for. But don't worry, because you're not the only guy working there. There will be a lot of other people in your team, and you just can't reboot it. You'll be talking to your team members at the same time and determining that, okay, yeah, we need to reboot it. And when you, as a team, agreed, then you tell the application team that, okay, yeah, we need to reboot at this moment, and they will decide. So what will happen is when you push this onto the application team, it's onto their responsibility that they approve the reboot.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a great question too.
Thank you.
So, okay, so these are the commands here, and then this is the command to check the run level. And let's talk about this root user. So root administrator is a super user, and most of the time, so when it comes to root user, as an admin, you will have access, and you have to use it responsibly. Okay, don't be misusing it. Okay, because there's going to be a lot of audit trail. And then you will have access to everything and anything. You will have access to company data, and then the password will change every 60 days. And then you will also get your own username and password, okay? And never ever discuss the password, share it, or put it in email or in chat. Never ever do that, okay? Because you're risking your job. If you're sharing the password, just sending it, somebody come up to you, even the manager or even the director of the company comes up and asks you for the root user password, don't do it. Don't give it to them. And even other people, other your teammates would have access to the root user admin, and if they come up and ask you what is the root user password, I've forgotten about it, you say you don't know. Okay, never ever share this. This is really important. Okay, if you're going to be an admin, it's going to be a very responsible job, and then you have to be a trusted person. Okay, is it too much for today, or should I continue on? Actually, we'll just practice this, okay? Now that we know what this is, so I already typed init 0, and each time I type it, it's shutting itself down, right? So let's go ahead and do. I'm going to type init 6. So since somebody said init 6, so I'm going to type init 6, and I'm not going to interrupt this. So it should automatically come back into the GUI mode, since this is what it's default installed here. So over here I put down this is the default in most workplace, and this is the default installation with CD. Okay, so let me go ahead and type init 6. So you guys could follow along. Type init space 6 and hit enter. And let it go. Don't reboot or anything like that. I mean, don't interrupt it. We'll see what happens.
But I had done that earlier. So it took me to the back to the screen where it says CentOS release 6.9 final.
Exactly.
Others.
So you are in a graphical mode already. So later on, we will learn later on that where there is a file, there is a system file, you go in there and change the run level, default run level. We're going to set it to default run level to 3. Okay, go ahead, everybody who are with me so far, go ahead and do this so that you come back up in to a default run level.
Can we go to GUI mode this time to see what is there?
I could hear you, but very low. You
Sorry.
said you are in GUI mode, just like you see my screen.
Yes, I am. I was saying that can we go ahead and go into actually in GUI mode and see what is there, like how to navigate there through GUI?
You could do it on your own time. At this moment, we'll just worry about the run levels here.
Sure.
But yeah, that's a good thing. You could definitely should try that.
It's going to ask the username and the password. So same thing, root and
Yes, it will ask the username as root, and the password is probably Red Hat because that's what I put it for myself. Okay, so you have this option, do not show, and then you could just select that and just click close. Okay, So let's get out of that. And I barely, I never use this mode here. Okay, so this is for, I couldn't tell you how to navigate in here. So you could do like go into application and there is a restart option there, but for now I'm gonna just do this here, power off, and then I'm gonna bring it back again. That's just easier. So actually we're gonna go ahead and change the run level. Okay, so let's see here. Go ahead and bring this back up, and then when you see that countdown, go ahead and push any key to interrupt. Okay, interrupt here. Okay, everybody here, everybody at this place.
Brother Zafar, how did we end that GUI mode when we started in the GUI mode? We saw computer and
Is your mouse working in GUI mode?
yeah. So just close that.
Yeah, just get out, just get back your mouse. So push the right control key and just close it and shut it down.
Okay.
So that you push the right control key right here, the one I'm showing on the keyboard.
Yeah, yeah, I got that.
Okay. Okay. So if you are here, push E to edit and select number 3. E again, and then give a space bar, and then we're gonna go into number 3. Uh, so let's go into number 3 and hit enter, which is a multi-user mode with NFS, and push B to boot the system into number 3.
Oh, I'm lost.
Where are you now?
1 second. I'm on the prompt. Grab edit.
Okay, type run level in there. Oh, you're in edit, right?
Yeah.
How many options you have? 1 option or 3 options?
No, it's not in the GUI mode.
You are in GUI mode?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you're in a black window, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how many options you have there? How many lines? One, two, or three?
One.
Okay, so this is where you need to learn this. So push E to edit. Then you should have like three options there.
Three options here, yeah.
Okay, use the down arrow key and select the middle one and push E again to edit.
The kernel one, okay, edit. Okay.
And then you are into a totally different place, right? So give a space bar and push number 3 there.
Okay. Enter.
And hit enter. It will throw you back a page. You back to the option where you have three options, right?
Right.
Okay. But you did went into the second option and you gave a space and type in number 3, right?
Number 3, right.
Okay. Now just push B, letter B on the keyboard. It will boot into the screen. We'll come back up to the screen I'm at. So when you are here, go ahead and type root, enter, and type Red Hat, whatever your password you have kept. The password, when you type the password, you're not going to see.
My cursor is stuck there on the black window, just blinking.
Good. It looks like mine, right?
No. No.
Can you take a picture and put it in the chat?
Sure.
Okay. Is it still stuck there?
Yes.
Okay, just close it out and then start all over again.
Okay.
When you have that countdown, push push a space bar especially.
Sure. Sent off. Here I hit E.
Yeah. First option is E, then select, use the down arrow key to select the middle option, and then E again.
Oh, hold on. And this is, okay, the second option is kernel. Let's see, E again. And now, space number 3.
Yeah, space number 3. Make sure you, okay, then hit enter there.
Hit enter, okay.
So you're back to 3 options now.
Now, back to 3 options, right.
Okay, great. All you do is push the letter B on the keyboard.
Letter B on the keyboard.
Letter B stands for boot. So it's going to boot into
it's doing it.
Okay. So let me know how your cursor is blinking at this point. Okay, so everybody who are with me, follow this carefully here. So we are changing, or we said changing the default run level. We're changing the default run level here at this moment. Okay, this is really important.
Do I need to log in there as a root
Yeah.
and the password?
Yeah, type in root and password.
But there's an issue. That many people dial in through phone. So I think if you would mute everyone, then the people who
I muted. I think I muted you too. So can you unmute too?
yeah, you did. So I'm saying the people who are on phone, they cannot unmute themselves. So uh, I don't know. We need to figure out if somebody need to ask question how. It's very difficult to identify even the users because there's numbers, not number 10, number 2. So
Yeah, yeah. I'll call in WebEx and see what the problem is.
yeah.
Or don't you have like an option for WebEx to call you? You may have that option too.
No, I'm saying that people have no problem dialing in. They are dialed in, but when you will mute everyone as admin, WebEx admin, everyone will be muted. But like myself, if I have dialed in, I can unmute myself through the WebEx. But people who dial in through phone, they won't have the option to unmute themselves. So you would need to unmute them or unmute everyone in order for them
Yeah,
to speak.
I wouldn't know how. I mean, who want to ask a question, they could put in chat. That way, we have everybody could take a look at the WebEx chat. I'm sorry, not the WebEx, but a WhatsApp chat.
Yeah, somebody did ask question. Phone number ending 9823.
Yeah, so yeah, if you are dialed in, you from the phone here, the best thing is just put it in a chat here. I have a chat window open here. Then I mean a WhatsApp window open here. Then I'm watching it. Then I could answer that question. Okay, so I'm gonna put everybody on mute again. So when you're at this window here, we need to change the run level here, okay? We're gonna change the run level, then we're gonna play around with the run level later on. Okay, so you are logged in as root, and then you are at this blinking cursor. So the command is vi. We haven't learned this yet, but there is no other option here just to use it at this moment. vi slash etc slash. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in here so that everybody could see. All lowercase, nothing is uppercase. Okay, go ahead and so everybody could see it. I have this here. Um,
That's what INITTAB?
okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, type vi. Then there is only one space. Don't type too many space. Then type etc. Then slash. This is a forward slash, which is on the question mark key right here. On the question mark key. So you don't have to use shift key. Just vi slash etc slash init tab, and then hit enter there. Okay, be careful here. This is a configuration file here. Anything you change in here is gonna be a mess. if it doesn't if you change something wrong, then it's going to create a lot of problems. So can you confirm you are here at this place?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Okay, so just bring your arrows using side arrow keys. Just bring it like this before 5. See, right here it's defined here. It says number 5 here, right? So anytime it boots up, it's going into a graphical mode. It's going into a graphical mode. So no matter what mode are you in, if you reboot the system, it goes back into the graphical mode. So we're going to change it to 3 here. So don't try to change it yet. I want to make sure everybody's ready. Okay, great. So to make a change, type letter I on the keyboard. So you will go into the edit mode. Type I. The moment you type I, it says insert. So you are in good place. Push the backspace only once and type number 3. Okay, don't push any other keys. Be careful here. Okay, can you confirm you have done that?
Yes.
Okay, so when it says 3 and blinking and still says insert, push the escape key. Escape key is like top left escape key. You know what escape key is. So push the escape key here. So down on the bottom, the insert is gone. That means then we have to save this file now. Okay. To go into the saving mode, hold down the shift key on your keyboard and then push the colon. When you hold the shift and then the colon is right next to the letter L, right side of letter L. See, you hold it down once and then push it, you're watching on my screen, right? So push that one, colon, 2 dots on top of each other.
I see colon and the cursor is blinking.
Professor, someone message in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, so once you are there, you should hold the shift key and push colon only once. Shift colon and then it should be only once like me here. And then push letter X. Let me know when you're there.
Yep.
Okay, and hit enter. So you are back to the CLI command line. Okay, type the command clear, clear, it will clear the screen.
Is it CL, Brother Zafar, or CL?
Clear, CLEAR, plain old English. Okay, so this is what you should be doing. Right here, you go down like this, and then the ID, where it says ID, should be 3. Okay, and then we shift colon. When you do shift colon, you're gonna go into a command mode, and then you type X. What X does is it saves and exits. So if you type run level now, it says run level 3 because we're already in run level 3. Okay, yeah, looks good here. All you have to do is do shift colon and X. Okay, now I'm going to restart the system here. You all could do it. Init 6, and then I could say comfortably, right, is going to go back into the run level 3 because we set the default to run level 3. So I'm not even going to interrupt this. I'm going to let it run. Okay, see, I didn't even play it around with it. Now it came back to the run level. You could log in now, log in as root. Then if I type run level, it's telling me it's run level 3 with network. Okay. So to type the command, there is another command to check the run level is called who-r. It will give you more information. Remember, all these are like lowercase. Okay, if you run it, if you the Word document is gonna autocorrect itself, but you remember this is all, most of the commands are in lowercase.
But Zafar, I typed who-r, it says bash who-r command not found.
Who-r, yeah. Doesn't it look like what you see on my screen? Who,
Okay.
W-H-O space.
Okay, there's space.
R.
Okay, got it.
I got the same GUI screen back.
No, so you did something wrong.
Yep. I'm going back again to start. And,
Yeah. Start and play around, and then we are out of time, so I'm gonna stop here, and then I'm gonna upload the video in 2 to 3 hours. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So anybody who is you're working on it, you are running into problem, take a picture, put it in the chat, and I'll let somebody in the group answer that first. If not, then I'll answer it. Okay. So we learned a lot here. Once you have set this up, go ahead and play around with it. Type like init 0, init 0, init 5, init 4, 6, whatever. Play around with it once you have set the default run level, okay?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to upload this document to you. I'll let you know when the document is uploaded. All right. We learned a lot today. Great, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, everybody. It was good.
Inshallah.